This video is being recorded at 1:27 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday, September 1st. So this is just a quick update. I'll share a trade on USDJPY that I took yesterday during the Asian session. So I've already exited this trade at this time, but I was looking to capture a breakout on the daily chart and the 4-hour chart. So I took this trade at 3:02 p.m. yesterday, right at the start of the Tokyo session. I took a buy, and the exact entry was at 139.064. I took about 45 pips of stop loss on this trade, and I ended up exiting at 10:25 p.m. and the second position at 12:08 a.m. On that day. So it ended up retracing a little bit. I moved one of my stop losses, and that one got hit. And then I moved the second stop loss, and that one exited as well. So in total, I made over just 1% gain on this trade. So let me show you how that unfolded on the chart here. So this is the daily chart of USDJPY. You can see for the today's daily candle is going to close in 30 minutes, and it's very likely going to be above the previous high here formed in July. And I was confirming this trade using the 4-hour and 1-hour time frame charts. So as you can see, yesterday in the New York session, USDJPY closed strong. And I was mostly looking at this 4-hour candle, which I'll expand and show the 1-hour chart in just a moment. But it closed into the previous wick highs made on August 28th and August 30th. This is an ascending triangle pattern where we have higher lows and highs at the same level. So that psychologically, that means in the market, the sellers are less willing to sell as the price moves up, but the buyers are maintaining their willingness to buy all the way up to the previous high level, and then the breakout confirms that the buyers are even willing to buy past it. So the way I analyzed this on the 1-hour chart, I saw the New York close right here. You can say it's this candle was the close at 1 p.m. So you can see here for 2 or 3 consecutive 1-hour candles, it's been pushing into the resistance here. So this candle closed into the wick, and then the third candle closed just above the wick. So I think I entered here. Yeah, here is my exact entry, 139.066. So yeah, I entered right at the beginning of the Tokyo session. I think I hadn't started yet. It was still the Sydney session, so the volume was actually pretty low. But yeah, I took this entry, and then it ended up retracing during the London session here. So I'll show you exactly what happened on the 5-minute chart. So, okay, my entry was exactly right here on this candle. So you can see during the Sydney session, the price action was very low. It's not much action going on, but even without significant candle moves, you can kind of tell the psychology of the markets. So first of all, we see that New York closed strong. Yeah, even though it sold off in yesterday's New York session, the buyers were able to push the price back up above the previous 5-minute highs, and even testing the 1-hour and 4-hour highs. That was right here. And during the Sydney session, you can see that some of the traders were already starting to place their positions on in the long direction. You can see this, the way you can tell is because even though there's not a lot of volume, there's not a lot of big participants who can move the market in a large way, but the smaller market actors are still putting on their positions, and from their actions, they've been moving the price up just a little bit at a time in these 5-minute bars. And then, yeah, I saw this candle close at 14.55, so I was waiting for the 1 hour close. I think I got alerted maybe 8 or 10 minutes ahead of this actual 1 hour close. So yeah, I was just waiting for one of the major time frames to close, and it closed in this 5-minute bullish bar. And I was almost about to enter right here, but then I waited, I think, 10 more seconds, and then I remembered this bearish bar formed. In fact, in the first like 15 or 20 seconds of this 5-minute bar, it actually made the full move down. So I saw this as a bargain in the 5-minute chart, so I placed my order, and I got filled at 139.066 and .064. So the market continued to range a little bit on the 5-minute chart until the Tokyo Open, and I was fairly certain this Asian session would have the breakout in USDJPY, just from looking at the 1 hour and 4 hour charts as I showed previously. As you can see, if this was going to continue in a box range, let's say you thought the market was gonna trade in a range around here, then this would be a very good value for the sellers to come in and take this price. And if that were to happen, the price should come down like the previous sell-offs, as you can see here. But they didn't. So they didn't for 3 hours straight. So 3 consecutive 1 hour bars. These sellers were not participating to either cap the price at this level or push it downwards. So whenever you see patterns forming in the markets, or just thinking about price action in general, you have to ask yourself where the buyers and sellers are in the market. And if one side is absent, then that may lead you to think that the market could break out in a certain direction. So even though the daily chart did not break out yet, remember this candle didn't form, let's say we're right here, you may think it's going to get pushed down because this was the previous high, but there's not enough information or resolution in the daily chart to give you a confirmation about this. So that's why I look at the medium and lower time frames to see exactly what's going on. And as I showed you in the medium time frames and even the lowest 5 and 2 minute time frames, I confirmed that, you know, there was not a presence of sellers in this market, which gave me the conviction to enter this trade. So let me talk about how this trade unfolded and where I moved my stop losses. So yeah, immediately in the first 2 hours of the Tokyo session, we had a nice breakout. The 5-minute chart went all the way up, and then it retraced somewhere around 1730. So I saw these 5-minute candles form here, and it seemed unable to break the 139.369 level. So at 18:15, I moved one of my stop losses just below these wicks here, and I think I kept my other one just in front of the break even level, just above my entry. So going into the second half of the Tokyo session, we see the price kind of range, wasn't really able to break out on the 5-minute chart anymore. Yeah, so I think towards the end of the Tokyo session, we had some traders covering their positions, so they were exiting USDJPY, and my first stop loss got hit right here at 22.25. Yeah, even though visually this candle did not touch my stop loss level, but I think the spread took it out. So after I saw that, I was just monitoring the chart for a little bit longer before I went to bed. I thought it may be supported right here from this 5-minute candle that closed all the way up. But just before I went to bed, I moved my, or no, I didn't move it yet over here, but I was watching the price move a little bit more. And it went into a range, forming another low here. So yeah, I think I went to bed just before midnight, so I moved my second stop loss right below this low here at 139.25. And then actually just a couple minutes later at the London session open, my second stop loss got hit by this 5-minute candle, and I was out of the trade. So yeah, I think I made 18 pips on one of the positions, and then 32 pips on the other position. Yeah, and then what ended up happening was the London session was selling off until just before the New York session. So we can see here around 5 o'clock, 5:20, we had a 5-minute candle breakout. So this forms an inverse head and shoulders. I wasn't watching the market at this point, but yeah, if I was, maybe I would be considering another buy. But actually not, because I think there was some news at 7 o'clock Pacific time. There was some USD ISM manufacturing index news, and that's what caused the volume here to drive the price up. So this was, I think, 50 pips in 5 minutes, so quite significant. Yeah, it looks like the market for USDJPY is continuously going upward as of right now. So on the 1-hour chart, we had this breakout, retest, and then it broke out just again at the New York close. So again, we have this ascending triangle pattern where there are higher lows and the high remains the same. So I will be looking for another buying opportunity, maybe in the Asian session today. It's quite likely it can continuously break out, as the daily chart just broke the all-time high, and traders are probably putting in positions here. So this is the key for multiple time frame analysis. As you can see, I was checking the daily, the 4-hour, and the 1-hour chart, and even the weekly is up. So that means all the traders on these time frames, whether you are position trading a weekly or daily time frame, or if you're swing trading a 1-hour and 4-hour time frame, or if you're even scalping a 5-minute time frame, all these traders are looking to buy in the long direction. So that's what should help push USDJPY to further highs. So if everyone is buying and no one is selling, by supply and demand, the price has to move. So you can use this kind of thinking or reasoning to help understand the price action or why the market moves in a certain direction. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful to analyze your future trades, and I will post an update the next time I take a trade on this